Ms. Shelton is not a conservative. She's far outside the mainstream. She's off the ideological spectrum. For 3 decades, Ms. Shelton has been a prominent advocate for returning to the gold standard. In making the case for Ms. Shelton's nomination, her friend James Grant wrote in the Wall Street Journal, with the nomination of Judy Shelton to the Fed, the discussion is tilted to gold. Gold is money or a legacy form of money, Ms. Shelton contends, and the gold standard is a reputable, even superior form of monetary organization. At other times, she's called for the creation of a generic global currency backed by gold. That kind of globalist, probably no better word than that, that kind of globalist ideology doesn't belong anywhere near our fiscal and monetary policy. The American dollar is the world's reserve currency. It should stay that way. We want it that way. We agree that it should be that way, and we're proud of it.
I want to start with Dr. Shelton. Dr. Shelton, some have tried to characterize your support for the gold standard as outside the mainstream thought and disqualifying for this position. What exactly are your views on monetary policy and the gold standard?
Can you explain to the committee why you've published in Cato or in the Wall Street Journal time and again praise for one set of provocative beliefs, like the U.S. should revert to the gold standard, that low interest rates steal from investors, that the Fed is an interloper in the marketplace and should be abolished?
Okay, let's go a different direction. The gold standard, also in the Wall Street Journal, let's return to the gold standard. And you hope that Vice President Pence would hasten return to the gold standard. You talked about a new Bretton Woods be held in Mar-a-Lago. If that isn't advocating for returning to the gold standard, I mean, what is?
You come from a unique perspective with regard to your discussions in an academic sense with regard to the gold standard. They have suggested, or at least some of your critics have suggested, that you would not be independent. Would you take some time here and just explain what your thought is with regard to the gold standard?
There's been a lot of talk about the gold standard in your previous writings and your position on eliminating the federal deposit insurance. And I was looking at your book, Money Meltdown, that you wrote in 1994, and really the last paragraph from the section that talks about gold convertibility, you basically state that eliminating the federal deposit insurance would restore the essential character of banking as a vehicle for channeling financial capital into productive investments while striving to meet the risk and timing preferences of depositors.
The gold standard came in the old economy when we had a barter economy, basically, didn't we, in a sense?
We've had a barter economy, yeah.
Have we progressed beyond that, and it's the confidence of the nation and the people and the economy backing all the wealth behind it? Is that what we deem valuable today?
Definitely.
So talk to us a little bit about your views on the gold standard, which we've given up long ago, and the other people in the world. I don't know anybody's relying on it now. And do you still believe that's important, and why? And where are you?
Did you admire what he did with the Liberty Dollar and $60 million and being convicted in a federal crimes in North Carolina? Do you admire that, Ms. Shelton?
I believe that he was testing the idea that the Constitution in Article 1, Section 10 says that states can only use gold and silver as legal tender.
You have a lifetime of writings, and not once are there things in there that indicate anything other than what I've pointed out in this committee meeting. Whether it's sale of public lands, whether it's sale of the Postal Service, whether it's gold standard, whether it's independence of the Fed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.